Hi, and welcome to Good News Friday. Mike Simon is here. I'm Joey Yarber. Welcome in, everybody, and happy Friday to you. Hey, thanks so much for allowing Simon Solutions to serve you with your goals, your work out there in the trenches many times, working with individuals and trying to help them to the next steps and how that they can work out of a place of crisis to a place of self-sustainability. Mike, we work with a lot of agencies that are focused in on substance abuse and recovery, just working from programs many times that are many steps. I mean, when you think about how do you get someone out of that place, there's so many programs out there and so many successful ones. But being able to bring in and incorporate a system like CharityTracker to be able to, from an outcomes perspective, be able to set those benchmark goals and work with an individual along the way, that's where we're having success. And frankly, it's a great testimonial as to the work that's being done, the programs that are being implemented, and being able to track the progress all the way. Outcomes, Mike, when it comes to getting someone out of a place of crisis, especially when it's substances that involve drug recovery, we're able to shine in regard, and our outcomes feature is able to help us.
Yeah, I realize that substance abuse, oftentimes, unless you're a residential facility that goes 8 months or something like that, most of them are just 90 days.
Yeah.
And I realize that a lot of them will go over 90 days, and they track outcomes for those 90 days. And I know they would want to try to track what happens to the people when they leave the drug treatment center. Where do they go? Who do they see? And they want to keep track of them to make sure that in the next 2 years they've still are clean. And that's very, very, very important. And that's why you need a collaborative in your community in which you can use the drug rehab center, and then you've got follow-up organizations that use CharityTracker too, and they can talk to each other and do outcomes for everybody. And interesting enough, the outcomes is not just solo for the one agency. The outcomes is collaborative.
Yeah.
So if they go over here to another agency, they can continue with the outcomes, and they can all see the outcomes and monitor their progress and advise adjustments as needed. And it's a wonderful thing that what CharityTracker does. And I'm glad to hear these drug treatment centers are using CharityTracker.
Well, Mike, we talk about relapses, and those occur. And so some of these agencies, as someone finishes a course and, hey, they're doing well, let's make sure they continue to do well and track what is going on from ongoing outcomes and benchmark goals, setting timeline and duration, 6 months, a year, those kinds of things. But then getting someone on your feet, how many times do we hear the story of, all right, we equip everyone with what they need now during our 90-day program, but then as they move out, are they going to be equipped to get into the world now, secure themselves a job? You need housing, those kinds of aspects of this. The transformation process is pretty comprehensive. If you really are going to work with someone to get them on their feet, that sometimes encompasses many different aspects of a person's life. So you may have a great program here with this agency that's focused in on the drug substance abuse, but then getting them out into the workplace, getting them to a place of shelter, making sure they have plenty to get them back on their feet. As they're working so well now, we want to make sure that continues. Setting those goals, being able to track the progress, and being able to follow up. These are the stories that we hear, the testimonials of the success that's going on with substance agencies that are focused in on things like fentanyl. This is huge right now, those aspects, alcohol, constantly hearing about that, and just being able to get someone on their feet. There's a lot of different agencies with these types of goals, and the outcomes, the assessments feature where you can create questions that are pertaining to a client's life area and where they are with that, and being able to track that, the changes over time that occur. You can see the progress or regress many times with this, and just having that information so that you as an agency are equipped to make better, more informed decisions. This is what this is all about, Mike. And when we began creating the system CharityTracker, we just didn't want to track and focus in on tracking tragedy. our ultimate focus was transformation. That's where our hearts are here. And the ongoing development is working. We hear the testimonials, and we're so honored to serve as we want to equip everyone out there with the optimal is what they can have in their life. We know a lot of people go through challenges, they get hooked on things, and obviously it can be detrimental and destructive to their life. But there's a lot of agencies out there that are working, and they're using CharityTracker to keep track of the data. We're honored to be part of that and part of that process of transformation. Hey, we've got a video coming out. We're going to keep you informed about it. It is really going to document as to what we talked about so many times before as to how it's done, who's doing it. Well, our friends up there in Charleston, we've got a video coming up that just kind of showcases some of the stories that are true to life. Mike and Isaac, our folks here at Simon Solutions, went up there to take, if you will, a video of what we have been hearing coming in from Charleston for many years, but actually putting it into a video forum so that everyone can see this. Mike, it was how exhilarating was it to go up there to Charleston?
It was eye-opening, and we learned so much by going up there and listening and interviewing them and let them tell their story. And
yeah,
it was amazing. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. It was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And their stories are similar to other communities across the United States. And I wish we'd go out and interview all the communities that have care networks in them. And so many of them have similar results, like Huntsville and Evansville and stuff like that, and other places like that. And I'm excited about what these communities are doing. They're putting together the model that really does do community impact. They are doing it, and they figured out a way how to get people to work together. And and I often wondered, maybe we ought to do a webinar sometime and get these people together and let them tell them, how did you do it? That's just the webinar. How did you do it? Because I know a lot of them went through a lot of pain and other stuff just to get it going. And sometimes their bosses, they didn't know do, but they had great passion, and they had great excitement, and they saw what it could do. They followed through with it, and they hung in there, and now they're some of the greatest models for collective community impact in the country. And I'm so thankful that we went out there and interviewed them. We're going to interview more. We got more we're going to go see.
Mike, it's these stories that keep us going, right? I mean, hearing the successes that they're having and how that they've allowed Simon Solutions to come in to Charleston and the surrounding counties there and work. That's why we do what we do. Keeps us going. Those testimonials, not to mention when someone says to me, and they do every day, who else is doing this and how do they do it? Being able to point someone as to the actual process that's involved. And let's face it, we don't pretend like it's easy. I think Kathy easily can tell you there's nothing easy about bringing CharityTracker in, but those challenges can be overcome. And developing processes, Mike's got an ebook that's coming out, 8 Steps to Transforming Your Community. This is going to be available here really soon. But our goals here at Simon Solutions are to be with you every step of the way. And it's not just words. We really want to document some of the successes, the stories, how it works, how it can work for you, and personalize it. And when we say that we're with you every step of the way, we really are. We want this to work. This is where our hearts are here at Simon Solutions. It keeps us going, keeps us getting up in the morning and going to work. Work to make sure that we do the very best that we can with what's been given to us. We are thankful and we are proud to serve with you there. So many of you that are in the trenches, allowing us to come in and be part of your processes and your hard work. It's a great honor for all of us here. Hey, we appreciate you. Hey, take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back again next Friday.